The Sunday night edition of studentloanjustice.org. My name is Alan Collins. It is Monday, October 2nd. Better. Welcome to the suck, ladies and gentlemen. As you all probably know, repayments started, well, technically yesterday, but yep, they want their money now. And let me just say, this is not to browbeat everybody out there. Only 95% of you probably. If even 10% of the people on our group had been doing our daily actions since January 1st, this problem would have been solved last July 4th at the latest. You have no idea how big of a muscle we have to flex, ladies and gentlemen, but and that holds true going forward. You know, if even 10% of the people on our group, we've got 1.45 million people now. If 150,000 people a day were doing our daily actions, we'd have been done months and months and months ago, guys. But that didn't happen. To those of you who have been doing the hard work, you know, I salute you. I think it's quite extraordinary what we were able to get done. Just a relatively small ragtag group of warriors. But clearly it wasn't enough, guys. So to the other 95% of you, what were you doing for the past 9 months while we were begging and pleading for you to join us in fighting this battle? I don't know. Well, embrace the suck, because here it is. So the good news, guys, is that my best estimate is that not even 25%, not even 25%, not even 1 in 4 student loan borrowers are going to resume making payments on their loans. And I think by Christmas time, it will be significantly lower than that. This lending system is failed. We didn't break it, by the way. It tried to break us. We don't have to put up with this bullshit. And hopefully a month or two from now, when the pain of these $400, $500, $600 payments that you're now making are breaking you, maybe finally you'll come around and say, hey, maybe that Collins guy had a good point. Anyways, I don't want to wag my finger. There's no point. It's just to say that we know how to actually fight and actually win this battle. Not pretend, not blindly and blissfully calling for student loan cancellation. We know how that goes. The way this problem is solved is by us getting the leverage of bankruptcy rights returned to us. Nothing good is going to happen for us until that happens. So I got a bunch of announcements. Let's see. Thanks to everyone who was interviewed for that NBC News piece that aired or published yesterday. I can't remember all the people. I think Patrick and Rhiannon and I think maybe Jackie. I can't remember. Anyways, like 5 of our members were interviewed for the piece. Good piece. We've got many interview requests going on right now. If you find us on Facebook, and you can see right there is our Facebook address, SLJ group. You can look on our Facebook group and see all the various interview requests that we have going on right now. One in particular, this is another thing with NBC. If you want to be interviewed about them resuming the payments on student loans, and you're going to be, greatly impacted by it, and you're worried about it, which is probably most people, I think, send an email to Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal, SHAQ, Shaq, at nbcuni.com. But we've got a ton of other requests. So like I said, just look on the Facebook group. Second announcement. Please donate, dudes. We're trying to raise all the money that we need for the week, like as early in this week as we possibly can. We made a good start yesterday. We went down from like 37 to needing 24, I think, people. We need 24 people to donate $20 or more. That's to literally keep us operating and not disappearing. Just please donate if you would, particularly if you've never donated before, or maybe if you haven't donated in a long time. Particularly if you happen to be one of the lucky few, 2% or less, who have gotten your loans canceled over the past few months. That'd be very, 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 very helpful. But yeah, guys, I can't lie to you. It's going to suck. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions or comments, and I can see them on Facebook and or Twitter, throw them up, and I'm very happy to respond to them in stream if I can see them, which is never a guarantee. But yeah, guys, I'm here to tell you, this thing all comes down to bankruptcy. If you're new to the group, nobody wants to file for bankruptcy. You don't want to file. I don't want to file. Nobody wants to file. However, we have learned over 18 long, hard years of frustrating effort, toil, and trouble that we are not going to see anything meaningful with the student loan disaster unless and until we get the constitutionally enshrined right, the leverage of bankruptcy returned. So very few people should even have to file. In fact, nobody really will have to file in order for just the presence of the threat of bankruptcy alone will be enough to compel massive changes in the federal lending program, massive good faith changes. That'll probably include very broad, very widespread loan cancellation. It'll probably include the majority of people actually making it through the various income-driven repayment programs as opposed to being disqualified out of them. It'll probably include, I would imagine, the Department of Education finally cracking the whip on the colleges to lower their prices. It will probably cause Congress to put meaningful limits on the federal loan program, where you can't borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars for nonsense degrees and that sort of thing. There's a very good reason that the Founding Fathers called for uniform bankruptcy laws, aka rights, in the Constitution. And this student loan violation, unique violation of the wisdom of the founders, proves the wisdom of the founders in spades. So I know it's not sexy. And for the life of me, I cannot surmise why the other groups claiming to be fighting for student loan borrowers are eerily and suspiciously silent on the question of bankruptcy for student loans. I'll let them defend themselves on that. I'll give you a hint, though. They're corrupted. They've been bought off. They are making way more money from this loan scam than if it were actually solved. And they don't want to solve this problem because they're, as I said, they're making too much money from it on the side, selling your ass down the river to loan consolidators, student loan coaches, student loan lawyers, and a whole shitty little swampy industry of people who are trying to make money off of your backs. You should ask all the other groups the tough questions, like, why have you never said anything about bankruptcy? Or if you have said anything about bankruptcy, why have you thrown water on the absolute vital need to return standard bankruptcy protections as they exist for all other loans to student loans? And watch them squirm and watch them wriggle and avoid the question. A lot of our members get kicked out of their groups for asking that very question. But anyways, it's a nasty environment we live in out there, guys. We live in the student loan universe. There's a lot of astroturf out there. People who say the right things like, yeah, going to college shouldn't be a lifelong debt sentence. They say things that are very, very emotionally inspiring to many people. But what they say and what they do are two very different things. It's very easy to spout rhetoric about how terrible student loans are, how unfair they are, blah, 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 blah. And it's a very separate thing to actually fight for the actual legislative changes that actually have to happen in order for us to see anything good. And that all starts with bankruptcy. So yep, it's going to suck, guys. The number one goal of the debt collection industry was to see these loans turned back on and see bankruptcy protections remaining gone from the loans. And here we are. So think about that. I think I'm going to leave it there just leave it there tonight. And what I'm telling everybody now is if you want to help, if you want to actually fight this battle with us, if you're finally ready to fight, go to our website and do our daily actions. We do daily actions nearly every day. We update our website fairly frequently. You can see the past 3 years worth of our daily actions. I would say if you've never done a daily action, do the past 2 weeks worth. They're quick. You need a Twitter account. Most daily actions you can do in a minute or so. Most daily actions are like retweet this and retweet that. It's kind of a Twitter thing. Do our daily actions. They help. They are hugely helpful. As I said, if even 10% of our members had been doing our daily actions since January 1st of this year, this student loan problem would be solved today. It would be solved. The loans might actually be gone. Who knows? But I do know that when we finally get the constitutionally enshrined right of bankruptcy returned, they're going to have to cancel loans very broadly, very meaningfully, very deeply, maybe even totally. Who knows? They're going to have to do a lot of other things too to maintain the legitimacy of this lending system. And right now, all bets are off, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe anybody who says they know what the future holds. The only thing that I can say for sure about the future is that come Christmas time, absolutely not even 30% of the people will be repaying on their loans. That will not happen. Even before the pandemic, nearly 3 in 5, nearly 60% of all borrowers were not making payments on their loans. Don't trust anything the Department of Education says about its SAVE program or its Fresh Start program. It's all nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. Our opposition won this battle, guys, at this point. What they wanted, more than anything, was to keep this loans program going, get the loans turned back on, and keep bankruptcy away from the loans, keep statutes of limitations away from the loans. That's what they wanted, and that's what they got. So it's going to suck. And what I'm telling everybody, number one, everybody should be bulletproofing themselves. That means different things for different people. Maybe you're not in default and you want to stay out of default. Well, maybe you might want to think about paying a small nominal amount of money every 269 days to keep your loans out of default. Yeah, interest will still accrue. It still sucks, but your loans will stay out of default. Maybe instead of being a employer, maybe you want to be a 1099 or 1099 contract, or instead of being an employee, I should say, you want to be a 1099 contract or be your own boss. That way they can't garnish your wages. Maybe you want to file exempt on your taxes so that you don't owe anything at the end of the year. So there's no income tax return for them to take. That sort of thing. But no matter which way you look at it, guys, we're headed into a world of suck. And the only thing that I can see that will bring us out of that suck are people out there getting off their fucking asses, where 95% of all the people out there have been sitting on their asses, watching us work and expecting that the warriors on our group are going to fight your battle for you. That never happens. And to all the warriors out there who have been fighting this battle, I salute you. But that's just as simple as it gets, guys. That's the reality sandwich that you need to eat. If you don't help us fight, we're going to get screwed. We're the only group meaningfully fighting this battle, and that is also very true. So you better get used to the idea of calling your senators, your congressmen, getting hooked up with your media. Look at this kitty. Look at this kitty here. I've got some kittens for adoption. If you happen to live near North Wisconsin, we've got really sharp claws, by the way. Very playful, very nice. But it's going to suck, guys. You can't sit on your ass anymore and expect the solution to this problem to fall in your fucking lap. It doesn't work that way, if you haven't noticed. Now, the people on this group, the people I know that I would see day to day, day in, day out, who are doing the work, who are doing our daily actions, who are getting us into meetings with your House reps and your senators, who are writing op-eds in or letters to the editor in their local newspapers. I salute you guys. We are the reason that we've gotten as far as we have. This group is the reason that we were even talking about student loan cancellation by executive order in the first place. Ow. Get off me. Cats are getting gnarly. But yeah, no, this group is the reason that we even are talking about student loan cancellation by executive order in the first place. And again, I should say, don't believe all the bullshit you see about the Department of Education doing this negotiated rulemaking session to explore other options that the president might entertain for student loan cancellation. That's all nonsense, guys. That's all just one big bureaucratic bunch of Washington, D.C. swamp bullshit. They're not going to solve this problem for us, guys. Starts with you, and you better get off your ass because it's going to suck, as I've said like 3 to 4 times tonight already. And you know, you're going to have to embrace that suck one way or the other. My humble opinion, nobody should be making payments on their loans. My humble opinion, it's not only unwise, but at this point, unpatriotic to feed your money into this beast. But you know, to each his own. I would get down on my knees and beg you to start doing our daily actions if I thought it would do any good, but it probably won't. So all I can tell you is that we're going to be fucked. The opposition won, and we are fucked until and unless you get off your ass and help us fight. You're not better than us, by the way. We have Harvard lawyers in our group who are doing way more work than you are. So you are not better than us. And whatever reputation you think you want to protect and blah, 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 you better get over that shit because this is your livelihood on the line. These are your student loans. And it feels good to fight this fight. I've been fighting it for 18 years, and I sleep like a baby at night. But if you don't get off your ass, we are going down a very dark, dark path. This country is going down a very dark, dark path. And remember this also. If they can do to other loans what they've done to student loans, and they can if we let them, they will. And pretty soon it's not just going to be student loans that are non-dischargeable in bankruptcy. It'll be medical debt. It'll be credit cards. It'll be you name it. There's no stopping where this freight train wants to go. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. And I see we have a couple comments here tonight. Hey, Evelyn Lara Ferris is with us tonight. Got an email from the Educational Department and Ed Services today. Don't know what that means, but you know, I know that yeah, there's all kinds of hope, Evelyn, and all that hope resides in us, we the people, fighting to get our bankruptcy rights back. We had a great bill last session. It could have easily passed. It was bipartisan. And the way the public conversation is going, the argument for returning bankruptcy to student loans is stronger now than it has ever been before. Even presidential candidates like Ron DeSantis have included returning bankruptcy to student loans in their presidential campaign. But it's all between us and Congress, guys. Either we push our congressmen, women, and senators, or we don't. It's all between us and Congress. Hey, Lisa Ansel says, notice that bankruptcy wasn't even mentioned in the topics that will be covered in the new neg-reg discussions. You're exactly right, Lisa. You know, I did an interview today with one of the Washington Insider newspapers, and I said exactly that. Bankruptcy was not ever even mentioned in the solicitation for the negotiated rulemaking session. And I was very clear to make that point to that reporter. I hope she prints it. Student loans are his Moby Dick. I'm not sure if you mean me or maybe Joe Biden, quite frankly. I haven't seen all the comments yet, so let me just see if I can. Shoot. Let me see if I can expand my and see all the comments. I feel like student loans are my Moby Dick in many ways, but no, if you want to look at really who deserves the most credit for taking bankruptcy away from student loans, you have to look at Joe Biden. So okay, guys, I've gone on. I'm right at 20 minutes now. Thanks for listening. Things are happening. We are strong. We could be nuclear strong. And we're waiting for you to get off your ass and help us. One last point of good news. Our petition added 12,000 signatures since yesterday. So we are now up to 1,200,000 and I think 4,000 or 5,000 signatures on that petition at change.org/cancel student loans. I am very guardedly hopeful that if we push it, we can get that petition up to 10, 15, 20 million signatures. There's no reason that we can't. It's a very well thought out petition, in my humble opinion. I wrote it, so I should think that. It's got everything going for it. I think it's quite moderate, and it's obvious common sense. We're calling not only for the cancellation of federally owned student loans, we're also calling on the president and Congress to return bankruptcy rights to return bankruptcy rights to all student loans, which is absolutely imperative. And quite frankly, the petition calls for all intents and purposes, an end to the federal lending program. This thing is done, guys. It's got to be taken to the bath and drowned in the tub. The federal student loan program in this country is finished. It's got to be replaced. It should be suspended, aka ended, and replaced. And that is what the next president should do. This president certainly won't be doing that, I would say, barring a miracle. And miracles do happen, but I'm not expecting it with Joe Biden. But that's what has to happen. And I think most normal people who know anything about the student loan program or read anything, get good information about it, very quickly come to the same conclusion. So I think it's a very reasonable petition. You should all be proud to be signing and sharing that petition. And who knows where it might go. You know, we've gotten, as I said, over 1 million signatures now. There are 38 million distressed student loan borrowers in the country. There's no good reason that 30 million of those people shouldn't sign our petition. So anyways, guys, the upside for us is absolutely galactically large, but it's only going to happen when you help us. So get in the game. We need you, and it's a fight worth fighting. And it's a fight that feels very good to fight. We are the pioneers, Lisa and Evelyn, and others on the live stream I saw tonight. This is our battle, guys. So just take that to heart, and I'll see you guys probably not tomorrow. I'll see you for sure on, I think, Wednesday, in all likelihood. Okay, hang in there. Good luck. Godspeed. Please donate. We dial that in one last time before I go. And just one last comment. I see Lisa says Joe Biden will lose the election over this. Yes, he will. I have no doubts that's true. But anyways, good luck. Godspeed doing our daily actions. Please donate. As I said, just please donate. God bless everyone.